with this lovely man, I feel like he feels fatherly. I don't feel like he got a chance to say goodbye properly. I'm interested in his chest area. I'm interested in an operation too from him. I think he had an operation where he may have had prior. I'm interested in cardiovascular. So I'm going to write down the side here, father, cardiovascular. I think it happened fast. I don't think you got no goodbye. He's a good-looking fella in his day, and I feel like he's got immense love for her. I'm proud of her. He makes me feel there might be something to do with a property, wanting to move, perhaps. I think the influence is moving, I think. So let's see if Sarah's going to be moving in the experiment, and we'll go from there. So hopefully this is a lovely father or grandfather to uncle vibe. I just feel like it's definitely on the male father side of the family. Felt fatherly to me when I was feeling him. And that she might be able to claim this person. I think there'd be, I'll just put down here something about moving. Something about moving. There's something about moving home. Moving house. I think there is a wristwatch. So I'll put a watch. I think it's got a blue face for the wrist. And I think he met his father in spirit. And I feel like I'm interested in John. I think there's also an Auntie Mary there. Auntie Mary. And I feel in the influence that there is maybe a young boy. I'll just see where we go with this. So I'll put young boy as his name, passed on. In the boy's name, middle name, young boy, name, passed on, middle name.
Hello.
Hey, oh, there you are. Hey, how's it going? Okay.
Good.
So now with you, right, I just felt like a few things. I felt like there was maybe a male in the spirit world, right, with you. So I got a male and I've written down the influence of John or the name John. So I'm interested in the name John. It might not be his name, but a connection to the name. I was interested in cardiovascular problems and passing fast, right? And I might not have been able to say goodbye properly. There might have been distance around him when he passed, or not being able to get to this fella, or this male when I was, drawing him. It might have been smoking when younger. He's talking about a birthday, but it felt like a birthday for a girl, so there might have been a recent birthday for a girl, right? And then he said there might be thoughts of moving for someone in the family, but I felt like it could have gone to you, so I felt like maybe moving. And then there could be a watch on it with a blue face on the wrist, and I felt like he would have also met his father in spirit. And there was an influence of army, so I'm going to just put army down because that's a new thing that's come through. And I'm interested and whether there's a young boy that would have his name passed down to him. And I'm interested in that for a male, okay? So, Sarah, I'm now going to flick my screen and you can just show me what you think about this. Hang on a minute, where's my screen here? So I'm just going to flick it to the camera. and I've drawn this little fella here, this guy here. So, and I think this might be a younger version of them. So if you can speak, Sarah, and just let me know what you think about what I've said here.
Yeah, pretty accurate. Pretty accurate. I've got a photo. I'll show you. It's a photo of her that looks to me like a photo like of his age when he passed away. But he died young, so
yeah, died young. That's it.
Yeah, it's my father you're talking about.
Yeah. Okay.
And we gave him a blue watch, and my daughter was born on the 26th of September and he was the 26th of October. So that would be the birthday reference.
Okay.
And I'm just blown away by everything you said. So trying to take everything in, but it's kind of hard.
Oh yeah. Okay. And that was interesting.
So the
right?
hair, it's the hair.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Really bushy eyebrows. And the interesting thing about this, about the lips here, there was a moment where I felt like I wanted to put a mustache on or not. So I'll just put one on, right?
Yep.
And that will like bring it even a bit closer for you, because that's the vibe in his chin there. So, and you know, he was a really handsome man. Now, do you know if with the army, whether it was his father or a grandfather that was in the army?
That was his father. Yeah.
Yeah, because I do feel he's met a man in spirit that wears a uniform, and he would have loved this man immensely. And he might not have had a proper goodbye with him. Do you know about that?
His father died had a heart attack on the operating table. And I was really young, so I just remember him basically. Obviously, he wouldn't have got to say goodbye. You know, his dad went in for surgery and then died. Yeah. But yeah, and the smoking thing. My father died from emphysema. So the smoking thing's accurate as well.
I got the chest. It was quite fast when he did pass. Now, there might be a Mary as well. The influence of Mary. Yeah. Do you understand my Nana. Your Nana. Okay. Well, I just felt like there's a love and a connection from a lady who's a Mary too for you. So, and they absolutely adore you, and they're glad that you came today. All right. So I hope you can take their love, all right?
Beautiful. Thank you so much.
Yeah. But it's so lovely that you could come back, because I had this wonderful connection with your dad. So thanks so much for your time and being a part of this little interview, just to kind of validate some extra things about your lovely connection that we had together. So thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's great. So tell me, how did you find the drawing actually, in terms of like connecting with your dad and the evidence of that? Did you really find that made you feel like it was him? How did you feel about that?
Yep. As soon as I saw the drawing, I was blown away. It just reminded me of a photo I have of my father. It just 100% looked like him. And the bushy eyebrows and the brown eyes, everything.
You know what I loved? I loved the fact that you just got up and you went to go and get it, and it was near you, you know, and it was just it was so cool to see you bring that and hold it up to the group, which was really lovely. I felt like, you know, I wanted to draw the beard and mustache thing, but I wasn't quite sure about it, so I left it off. And then when you kind of said, you definitely, you know, in the picture, it was wonderful drawing that on and really seeing the likeness of it. Yeah. So that was really. He had
days where he shaved it off. So, you know, you weren't wrong, but.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So he did have it on and off, because that's what it felt like. Yeah. Oh, that's what it felt like. Oh, that's really sweet. Well, he was lovely. You know, it was such a beautiful connection, and I'm so grateful for your time just to help validate some more of him for the audience today. Now, I mentioned too in the interview, on the online demonstration, that is grandmother Mary's. Is that right? It was right, wasn't it? The grandmother Mary.
Yep. Yeah. My grandmother Mary. I've got a grandmother Mary. I was very, very close with her.
Yeah. Yep. Okay, so just another thing about the evidence that I'd pre-drew, I'd written down John here, and the name John was significant. In our time together, can you just talk a little bit in the interview about the connection with John, please? Because he mentioned John, but I felt like it was someone important to him in his life. you know?
Okay, so John, I was a bit unsure of, so I had to do some digging. And I asked my father's cousin and my mother, and it came up that it was his father's brother who he was close with,
Yeah,
who
because it
actually
felt like an uncle.
lived in Devonport as well.
Okay.
And he was obviously very special to him. So I guess that in a way is confirmation that he's with John as well. And
Yeah. Okay.
and
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Well, it definitely felt like there was a connection, and it did feel very uncle. So that's wonderful that you can understand the connection to John then. And I think, what I love about spirit is I think they kind of make us as mediums say things and we're not quite sure what it means
Yeah.
sometimes. But the client goes away and then talks to other family and sometimes has a cup of tea and a cry and finds out more about
Yeah.
their relationship or other people that they didn't know. And I think that's the gift. It sounds like you may have connected to some other people and spread some of your dad's
Some
love
family.
and,
Yeah.
and John's love too, by the sounds of it. Yeah. So isn't that
Yeah.
lovely? In the demonstration and in the drawing prior, I said I felt like he met his father when he died. Can you tell us what that kind of meant to you?
That for me was confirmation. So my father passed away in my arms, and before this, I wasn't very spiritually in tune. I kind of believed stuff, but I never experienced anything. And when my father passed away, I closed my eyes and I felt the immense feeling of love. And I saw white light, and I saw
Yeah.
my nana, my grandfather, and his sister that had passed away. So all his special family,
Yeah.
just smiling and basically welcoming him.
Yeah.
And I saw him in his prime on the other
Yeah.
side. And so you saying that he was greeted by his father, that was confirmation because that's what I had seen also. And
Oh,
I had
that's
never experienced anything like that, and it was beautiful. So,
Oh,
yeah.
that's lovely, isn't it? Because sometimes in mediumship, we say lots of things that come into our mind, but we also
Yeah.
maybe don't understand the importance of some of these things and how it ties in to a moment that you even had with each other. I mean, that's really
Yeah.
special to
It
have
was
that experience. Wow, that's beautiful.
very
And
beautiful.
yeah, and you're in the. I'd written down the army influence, right? But it was your father's grandfather who was more army based. Is that right? He was in
No,
the
it
army.
was my father's father. So
Oh,
my
oh,
grandfather.
yeah, your grandfather. That's
Yeah.
right.
So,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, he was, yeah.
He was in the army. Yeah, because
Yeah.
that was definitely influence that I saw there. Now, in the time we had together, I talked about he knows that you're contemplating moving. So that's true, right? You were having these
Yes,
thoughts of
I've been
moving.
humming and hawing. Yep.
And he was really, I think, for me, in drawing him in the prior and then the demonstration, he really made a big thing about this watch that was silver with a blue face here, and that was quite a
Yeah.
significant thing. Tell us a little bit about that for us.
So me and my partner had given him a watch, and it was quite an expensive watch. And it was my partner's, and my partner literally took it off his wrist and gave it to my father. And my father was into watches and things like that, and he just wore it, for oh gosh, probably about a year before his passing, and we
Okay,
ended up
yeah,
getting him cremated in it and everything, so it's still with him, and
yeah,
yeah,
okay.
we got photos of him in
Uh,
it, and so the watch was
yeah, no,
another
that's good.
big piece of the confirmation for us.
Yeah, oh,
Yeah.
that's lovely. I felt like it's made me feel like there's no time where I am, having a bit of a laugh, haha, about the watch,
Oh,
you know.
that's
So
beautiful. Yeah.
yeah. And there was a big thing he was going on about a birthday and about linking to a girl, and I'd written that down. So that's about your daughter, right? And they're
That's my
born,
daughter. Yep.
yeah. And tell us about that. So they're born. She's born on the day that he died. Is that right? From what we were talking about?
Well, so when I got pregnant with her, I just felt like I found out that I was going to be due in about September, and my father passed away on the 16th of September. And I thought, she's due on the 19th of September. And I just felt, this knowing that she was going to be born on something to do with my father. Like, I just knew my dad somehow had played a part in it, and I couldn't put my finger on it, but it was a knowing.
Yeah.
And I thought, oh, okay, she'll be born, 2 days early, because I've had 4 kids and I've never gone overdue. So I was like, wouldn't think anything other than that. Anyway, roll on, goes the 16th. No, Kiara. The 19th of due date, no, roll on. 26th, she was due on his day of his birth. So it wasn't his birthday.
It was his birthday. That's right. Okay. Because the big thing is he kept saying, talk about the birthday, and it links to a girl. So, I just thought
his birthday.
And they're born on the same day. Okay.
Beautiful.
Yeah, that is really special.
Yeah.
I loved all of this, really. And there was a feeling here in the beginning when I was drawing it. I mentioned this is interesting about some evidence, isn't it? Because in my thoughts prior to meeting you online, I had written down no goodbye, and I got maybe with you. I'd written Sarah, no goodbye, Sarah, but it wasn't you because you were with him, right? It was another family member, wasn't it? It was a sister to you.
My younger sister. Yeah, my younger sister wasn't there. She had walked out of the hospital room to get some air, and and that was it. And
I think he really, in that moment though, I think he really felt like he would want them not to worry or not feel guilty that they didn't have a proper goodbye at the end. It feels like your sister had spent time with him and was, being by his side. And I think, he's a very proud man. I don't think he'd want everyone fussing over him, hard enough for you as it was, But anyway, I just felt like he just wanted his love to be passed on to her too, and maybe another male who might not have had a proper goodbye at the end there. So, but that was the big thing, and one of the reasons why I came through today, in our time together, So that was really special. So, how do you feel about this now? Do you feel like through this experience that it's taken away your fear of death itself as well? And you had a remarkable experience with your dad because you were with him to the very end. So, but do you feel like this is like validates you moving forward in the spirit world, and that your dad continues? Do you feel like it's given?
I definitely know. Yeah, it's definitely confirmation that he's still with me, and the synchronicities and the signs and everything I've experienced. Like after his passing, I could smell him, and I've seen orbs, and it's spiritually opened me up 100%. Prior there was nothing, I didn't doubt it or disbelieve, but I didn't have any knowing or any, what I mean? Like I didn't see anything. But for someone like you that has been doing this for so many years, to give me the confirmation and tell me everything that you've told me that's 100% true, right down to a boy being named after him as well, which was my brother's son.
Because that was the next thing I was just going to quickly ask you about that. And one other thing, so that was true about a boy that was named after him.
Yep. My brother named, yep.
Yeah. Oh, wonderful. And there was one other thing, an operation I mentioned too prior. Can you tell us a bit about that?
Yes, so he had he was a carpenter, and he had a fall. I think it was like 6 stories high, and he should have died, but an elevator shaft broke his fall, so he landed on that, and he shattered his hip and ended up getting a metal hip, which gave him grief, and he also had a stent put in his heart. So he had a couple of surgeries there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because in my preliminary notes when I was drawing him, I said the cardiovascular as well, or the chest, but I did feel like there was an operation prior. So about that. So I think that's the influence he was trying to show me. So that's fantastic, really. I mean, he's lovely. Your dad was showing me, I'm kind of in Takapuna, Auckland area, like north, like I feel like on the North Shore there.
Yeah.
So is that familiar to your life and where you are and your dad's life when he was alive? Is that right?
Yes, we go to that beach all the time,
Yeah.
and we always see Rangitoto.
Oh yeah. Well, he's showing
Yeah.
me Mission Beach and Rangitoto Island, and you must go for walks there and maybe get fish and chips and go down the water. So you understand that's his life and where you guys used to be a lot because he
Yes,
makes me
very
okay.
special place. Yep, and I've even got his urn with Rangitoto on there in the ocean.
Oh, yeah, that's it. Okay. Oh, wow, that's fantastic. Well, I feel like he's with you always when you're there or going for
Thank
walks
you.
on the beach there, and he just
That's so
wanted you to
special.
know, he just wanted you to know that he loves that space and that place with you. And I feel like when you're in nature, I feel like he really connects with you there in that place. I feel like you become one when you're down there, So please know that he knows.
Beautiful. And that's 100% confirmation, because that's what I feel too. I feel at peace with nature, and it's my happy place, and I feel like I really connect with him.
So that's fantastic, really. I mean, he's lovely. He's a stranger to me, but he's your dad, and it's very clear that he loves his daughter, and I'm a proud daddy too now. And I know what it's like to be a daddy. And I think his love, it was very clear that his love for you is eternal and will never die, and I'm just so grateful that you came back just to share some of his beautiful life and story with us to share, and maybe this might inspire people to seek a medium out for a reading in the future. So thank you so much for your time today.
Very
I'm so
healing.
grateful.
Thank you so much.
No problem.
Thank you
I
for
wish you all the
sharing
best.
your gift.